Welcome back to another episode of Creatives Rule the World. I am so excited to be here today with my two head coaches over at Flourish and Thrive Academy, Dawn DiGesare and Chelsea Farmer. Thank you for being here today.
Yes.
Hi.
So everyone's been asking, Tracy, why did you rebrand this podcast? What's going on at Flourish and Thrive? Are you closing? Are you selling? Like, what is happening? And so a couple of days ago, as we're recording this, we made a big announcement inside of our community. It's something that we have been plotting and planning for a long time. And we're going to talk about that here today on the podcast. Who's excited about this?
I'm excited.
Okay, so I guess my first question for both of you is, why don't you share a little bit about how you've seen the community evolve since you've been involved with Flourish and Thrive? So why don't I talk to Chelsea first, and then we're going to talk about the backstory about what's going on.
Yeah, I think one of the really cool things about the community is not only watching them grow in their business, but also them getting more confident and more brave on asking for more things inside of the community. So if they know that they need something, that they at this point know and trust that we will easily provide that for them. So there's a lot more confidence in them coming up with questions, asking those questions, and then us giving them the tools that they need to be able to move forward and work through that and check that off of their list. So I think that just like the overall confidence and growth has been really awesome.
Awesome. And Dawn, what are some of the evolutions and things that you've seen over time?
Well, the thing that I've seen over time, because I've been with the company for so long as a designer and as a coach, is that we keep evolving and growing along with the times. So I feel like we do make a lot of changes, but they're necessary. Yeah, when I think about how Flourish and Thrive was way back when I started, I thought, oh my God, I have hit the jackpot. It can't get better. And the thing that I love about it is it does get better. And yeah, seeing all the people just flourish and thrive is amazing.
It's so fun. So one of the things that has been, just transformative for me, and I want to share a little bit about like the journey for the last 14 years of like where we came from, right? So, in 2012, I reached out. Actually, it's probably 2011. I reached out to my friend Robin Kramer and I said, I had this idea. I want to launch this jewelry community. This was right after, a couple years after the market crashed, and I had to close my first business. I had already launched my new business. My new business was starting to thrive. Things were going great. I never thought that I would be in the spot that I was at that time. And I was like, I learned so many lessons in this process of having to like actually close down a business that I thought I would have forever and start over to get back into alignment with what mattered to me, right? It was like one of my reinventions. I've had so many reinventions in my life. And I was so excited about this, right? And we launched this website, and even on the slide deck, even that we showed the community, I have an image of our first website, which is so cute and funny. I think it's cute and funny because we were really into turquoise and red. I love those colors together.
It was definitely a vibe.
It was a vibe. And I actually had collections in my previous brand that had turquoise and a red coral together. So it was definitely a vibe. Anyway, I just think back to those times and like we really made some waves in the jewelry industry. We changed people's lives at a time when online education was not a thing, when we knew that this industry was a tight-lipped industry, and that in order for all of us to really rise up as a community, we needed to break down some of those barriers. And one of the initial reasons why I wanted to start this company, and it was like such a simple thing, besides like sharing my story and being able to help people overcome, the hardship that is called running a business, because it's not an easy road. And anyone who does it, it's the most fulfilling thing you could do. It's not, what you see online is not like the life of running a business. It's very intense at times, we should say, but very rewarding and fulfilling, as you're moving along. Was that I asked a friend of mine at dinner one night when we were at a trade show in New York, where do you get your hang tags? And she would not tell me. It's not something that was going to give her a competitive edge over me. And, that was the thing. I was just like, what? why is it that people are like this? And so we set out to change an industry and we did it. And we've been through so many iterations. So we started, one of the things that we started with was this idea of community and collaboration over competition. It was the one thing, there were two guiding principles. Number one, I truly believed that people should be building a business around what they wanted their life to look like. This is still a core principle of mine. And you always know you're out of balance. And I'm giving myself this own lesson right now, or have been for the last couple of years, is that when you're out of balance and your business is not serving you, the whole point of having a business is it for it to serve and support you. So if it's not, and it's not helping you have the kind of life that you want, then it's time to take a look at that, because our businesses should support our lives. Second, community and collaboration over competition. This was the core of why we started the community at the very stage, and it is still our number one core value as a company, because we truly believe that a rising tide lifts all boats, and together we are stronger. And that's exactly why Flourish and Thrive was started in the very beginning. Now, we've been through a lot of iterations, and people are wondering, like, what are all these changes? Why is Tracy doing this AI tool? And I think it would be helpful if I just kind of share the backstory. What do you guys think? Okay.
Sure.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I had this calling. Like there was this like little nudge. I was at a Brendan Bouchard event, maybe in 2017 or 18. He asked us to claim a big, hairy goal. And this name came to me as a result of that event, Creatives Rule the World. And I knew that I was here to make a big impact beyond just the jewelry industry. And I had this calling. I knew that I wanted to go be speaking on stages. I knew that I wanted to impact creatives in different ways. I wanted to start this thing called Creativity Camp, which I still do. Just all these passions and this bigger vision of how I was going to impact people, in particular, young people who, are considering maybe walking the creative path and running a business at the same time. And life happened, right? I had a team member who I just adored. She came to me. She told me in one moment that she was a lifer, and a year later she quit suddenly, and I was devastated, and it really set me back. And then that led into 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. And then the last couple of years have just been catching up, but also me in the season of knowing that I had this bigger calling, and that I knew that I had to step into something bigger. And the fact that I wasn't stepping into something bigger and doing the thing that I knew my heart wanted to do was causing me a lot of frustration. It was causing me a lot of anger. It was causing me a lot of stress. And quite frankly, I was very dissatisfied with what I was doing. And that has nothing to do with anyone, this community, or anything around that. But it's just, when you have a mission and you're here to do big things, like start a jewelry business or be a photographer or impact millions of people, right? And you're not stepping into that bigger vision and mission, and your heart is calling you there, the universe is going to keep bringing you lessons that smack you down until you listen. And so something happened over the past couple of years that, I just kept getting these lessons. And around this time last year, maybe a little bit about a month before, I was I was hosting a retreat, and the members of the retreat asked to give me a hot seat. And I was terrified, because I knew that if I let them give me a hot seat, and they actually were going to give me feedback on my number one challenge, that I wasn't going to be able to hold it in, and that I was going to spill the beans about what my heart truly wanted. And that did happen. And it was really scary, because half of the people who came to that retreat were members of the Flourish and Thrive Academy community. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what to do, because I had publicly admitted to people that I had this desire to move on. But because my core wound is abandonment, I did not want to feel abandoned by the community of people like leaving me. It was this weird vicious cycle. But I also didn't want to abandon you, because that abandoning you felt like it was triggering my abandonment wound. And so I kept sitting with this, and I did not know what to do. I was so conflicted and so confused. And last year was one of the hardest years I've ever had in business in my life. I'm going to leave the details out of it, but let's just say, I did not put myself or set myself up for success. I did not put myself in a great position. But I knew that in order for me to get the clarity that I needed to be able to guide this community forward, or decide what was best, not only for me, but also me and the community, I needed to take a step back. And so many of you have been asking, why isn't she launching Laying the Foundation? Why are they stopping running cohorts? Why did they end the Momentum program? Well, all of this was because it was the only way that we could come to where we are now. And if we didn't do that, then I was just going to keep running a race that was not my race to run. And I know, as someone who's one of their core values, top core values, is integrity, that if I am operating out of integrity as a leader of this company, of the leader of this movement, of this leader of the bigger jewelry industry in the way that I am, but not living in alignment and integrity with myself, well, how could people actually listen to me? Because it's not okay to do that. And so this was not an easy thing to come to, because there were times when I thought I would just close down the company. At the end of last year, I had an offer for some people to come in and partner with me and eventually buy the company, buy an equity, sell the company. I did not like the business plan that they wanted to do. It just felt like a lot more work for me. They told me I would be removed from the day-to-day operations. I did not believe them. And so I sat in the discomfort of having to let go of most of my team and seeing a 70% reduction in sales on purpose, by design, because the only way that we could get to this point was to take time to think about it. Dawn was asking me, texting me every couple months, like, what's happening, Tracy? You need to let us know. Chelsea's like, I'm here for it. If you want to stay or go, like, I'm good. Like, you tell me. And it's not easy for anyone. Seriously, my abandonment wound every single day was like getting triggered, because I'm like, are they going to leave me? I don't know what to do. But they're like, we're here, but we just need to know. And so we had a lot of meetings and we talked around in circles for a long time. And we came to the decision that AI is changing the game in the coaching industry. But the one thing that AI can't replace, AI is amazing. And for all of you AI haters out there, we're going to debunk some of those myths today. AI is amazing. It can help you in so many ways with your business. In fact, we just created an AI tool called DiGesare AI. I'm so freaking pumped about it. And anyone who's not joining us for DiGesare AI should jump in right now, because we're still in beta as this is going to be launched. And you're going to get in at such a sweet deal. This is going to change your life and your business literally forever. The initial adopters, even the most tech challenged adopters, are saying that this is game changing. And where have you been all my life? This is my new BFF. So I'm mentioning this because AI is here and it's here to stay. And so instead of fighting it and trying to sell a program, my signature programs, which we still have and they're still available. So if you've bought them, you got them for life, right? Instead of trying to fight what was happening, I needed to learn how to innovate and ride the wave with what was happening instead of fighting against it. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but DiGesare AI was born. But the one thing AI cannot replace is connection and community. And we know that some people are trying to use AI as a therapist, but I think it's a weird thing. You can't, maybe for a quick hit, but it's not going to be someone who actually has a human connection. The more that AI is supporting us in our business, the more we need community, the more we need connection, the more we need each other to continue to grow, because there are things that AI can help us with. It can even show us our blind spots and we want to say F you to it. But, at the same time, and that's amazing, right? But it's never going to give us the companionship. It's never going to give us the empathy. It's never going to give us the we're in this together vibes, right? Plus, it's never going to give us the human brain insight. Like, it can show you something that was spit out on the internet by a bro marketer, but it's not going to give you the insights of what is actually going on in a brain, or like the creative thinking that happens inside of someone's mind when they tried something outside of the box, right? There's no replacement for that. So we came up with something. I'm going to let Dawn and Chelsea take it over from here, or from this point. So why don't you share a little bit more about what's happening inside the community?
Yeah, so previously we have had 2 communities. We actually last year launched the second community to test it out.
Actually, we had 3 communities, Chelsea, because we had
we did.
4
Sorry.
communities. We had Train Your Customers to Buy From You Online, Momentum. We had the DBE Society, and then we also had the Jewelry Marketing Collective. Yes. We had 4 communities.
It was bananas.
And this is why we were so scattered.
Yeah, very scattered. And with being scattered, me and Dawn had talked, and we were telling Tracy how we were feeling about it. It felt very disconnected and like people were still getting amazing support and everybody loves our communities, but we knew that we could provide a better experience. And we had things that were going on in different communities due to different programs and the different level of support that they were getting, if they had one-on-one coaching, et cetera, to where certain things were existing in some communities and not the others. And we knew that we had to do something to create one land where we could give 110% to everybody all the time. And also not feel like Dawn and I were scattered and all over the place and not be disconnected with the support of the students. Because one thing that's really awesome is us going back and forth, like Dawn and myself, talking about, oh, so-and-so struggling with this. I know that you could help them in this area. Mm-hmm. And things like that are really, really helpful. And so we are super excited to be putting everybody into one big happy family as the Desired Brand Effect Collective. So I think it's going to be amazing. We announced this to our community 2 days ago.
Yes.
And everybody is thrilled. Every call we've been on since then, people are so excited. Over in our community chat, they're saying, I cannot wait. This is going to be amazing. We know it's going to be amazing. I feel like all of us feel really good in our heart about where we're going with this. And I know that all of our students that are currently with us are all super excited to make this change and be able to be supported with an even better community and also more coaching and more support in that aspect too.
And then Dawn, so I want to share just a little bit more about Dawn. What do you want to say? Sorry, you haven't spoken yet.
Basically, the same thing that Chelsea said. I'm really excited about being able to support the designers in every level of their business. And I also think, we were talking about it today on the call, it's really important for the new people starting out to see people who are struggling or fixing things in their business and seeing them move forward, people who used to be where they are. So separating them wasn't the best thing. So I think bringing them together and letting them all see and help each other really is going to be amazing.
Can I add to that really quick too?
Yes, please.
One thing that I was thinking about also when Dawn mentioned the different levels of people, I think it's so easy to watch other jewelry designers and entrepreneurs online and just see, like, for the most part, oh my gosh, they sold out their collection this fast. Or like, their website looks amazing. Their photography is awesome. Their reel's going viral. But if you are only seeing that part and you get behind the scenes in our communities, you will see all of the other struggles that that person has that are just like yours. And so I do think that having a community like this where you are in the same type of industry and everybody is so supportive and collaborative is really important, because you might think, I'm the only one struggling with this. Like, I'll never make it to that. But even if you are just getting started out, and the people who are doing six figures, everybody has the same struggles and the same insecurities and will be having the same type of problem. It might be on a different scale, right? But it's still the same struggles that are going on. So I also think it really helps you feel and realize that you're not alone. And also that even the people who are super successful are also still having those things that they're still working through. And that's what's so awesome about the community, because we're constantly supporting everybody and trying to get everybody to not only a better mindset, but also like reaching the goals that they have as well.
And this is one thing that I want to address, because you just mentioned, like, oh, it's easy to see someone's collection selling out in 15 minutes. So I reposted a reel from Erin from Twisted Ginger. You've heard me talk about her before. And I'm mentioning this because Erin, just a few short years ago, was struggling hardcore in her business, like so hardcore. She had come back to jewelry. She was doing this as a hobby. She was making maybe a couple of $1,000s a year. She took our Laying the Foundation program. That got her some traction. Then she joined another program. That got her some traction. She didn't start selling out collections. She's selling out of them now because she learned from us how to create a community around her brand. And she does a beautiful job of that. And when I think of people like Erin of Twisted Ginger, or Alex Camacho, who is inside of, she's like, I love her so much. She's inside the DiGesare AI community, being one of our beta testers. And it's so fun. She's like, I love being a guinea pig. When Alex came to me, so many years ago, this is probably like 7 years ago now, and she decided to join SOS, which is what became our momentum program. She was, she's like, someone told me I need to do $100,000 a year. And I hear you guys are the people to help me do that. It wasn't like, she didn't start doing multiple six figures a year and selling out of collections. She had a good business. People love what she did, but that's not where they started. And then so I think that there's this fallacy and this false thought that because you are not, you're getting crickets right now when you're doing the posting and everything, that's just your circumstance and nothing will ever change. The thing that changed for both of those people, and we can talk about so many other people, inside of our community who have similar results, is that they just kept going when it felt hard. They kept going when it felt like no one was listening. And that is the beauty of being in a community like this, because when you see, like, I even went through this recently. I launched my new program, The Art of Reinvention, last year, or this spring. I'm launching my next iteration in the fall. And starting a new program is no joke. It's the same thing. You might look at me and say, oh, she's got a podcast with millions of downloads and she's helped thousands and thousands of people in her community. But there's always going to be a learning curve when you're starting something new. And the enrollment was not what I expected. I felt like people weren't paying attention to the content that I was posting on my personal brand Instagram. But I know that this is part of the process. And I know that with repetition and with consistency and to keep going, that my message is going to land. And so I know that this is just a season and a moment in time. It's not forever. And so this is just a great example of how consistency and continuing is the key to success. And so I wanted to we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going to be happening in the community, because I want to talk about that. But one of the things that I think is really, really brilliant and amazing about what we did to restructure our community offer, I'm going to say, because as I mentioned before, we used to have a program called Train Your Customers to Buy From You Online. You can buy the self-study program now, but that was considered one of our communities. Our Momentum program, the Diamond Insiders back in the day, the DBE, which turned into the DBE Society, which was our Laying the Foundation group. Then the JMC. The JMC was our solution to people just being able to join a community, standalone jewelry marketing collective. What we did is we brought the best parts of all of those things. So if we're thinking about momentum, the best part of momentum was the coaching calls and being able to hot seat and the 90-day planning. In fact, we did a little test in the Diamond Insiders many years ago. We did this Diamond Insiders Plus that Dawn ran to help people with their planning, because we know that when people create a 90-day plan and they can break it down into little bits and pieces and create weekly action plans, that they make so much progress. So we brought those two aspects from momentum. We brought the sprint focused content from TYC into the JMC, which is still continuing. We're going to be doing one monthly training around a specific topic. When you join the community, the DiGesare Brand Effect Collective, you'll get access to, if you pay in full, all the previous content from before and any ongoing trainings, which is amazing. But we are creating this in sprint style content so that you can dive in, take a bite-sized lesson and put it into action in your business so that you start getting a sales or growth result. And so we brought that from TYC. We brought the DiGesare Brand Effect methodology from the Diamond Insiders and the DBE. And what else am I missing, you guys? Oh, and the accountability.
Accountability
Okay.
and co-working. Yes.
The accountability and co-working, because we want you guys to get a result. And so the benefit of this community, like the big thing is, number one, it's action oriented. So you're going to see growth in your business if you actually move into execution, which is the whole point of us helping you with your planning and execution strategy. You're going to get the support that you need so that you never feel stuck again. And anytime that you have a question, you can jump in the community and ask a question. You can jump on a call, one of our calls that we have. We also have an opportunity, if you want to, you can book one-on-one coaching calls with Chelsea and Dawn. Those are a la carte. You'd have to pay for them separately, but that's also an option. And also, if you struggle with like holding yourself accountable to get stuff done, Dawn's going to put your feet to the fire and keep you on track there. She loves accountability and she's so good at it. She loves helping people commit to goals and helping them get it done. But more than anything, we also have co-working so you can show up and get the work done on those co-working. Yeah. So I probably should have had you guys talk about that because you guys are running it. So share a little bit more about like what you're seeing, what you guys see in the community and why you're so excited about this.
It's been kind of hard trying to pay attention to both groups.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about it merging so that we can see what everybody's doing all at once. But I know that the people in the Desired Brand Effect are super excited to be getting coached by Chelsea. Like,
Aw.
it's been something that they have felt held back from because they're learning, you know, laying the foundation and all that kind of thing. And I think they've been itching to get over to get some of Chelsea. So I see great excitement about that because, I also know they don't really want to leave me. So they're going to have the best of both worlds. So I think it's great.
Yes, I totally agree. I think they're excited that they're going to have, I always call her Mama Dawn, but to help keep them accountable. Me and Dawn were talking last night, and I think something that is so cool about the way we're going to be even making accountability even better is we're going to be actually like physically tracking the goals and the accomplishments. So if somebody comes to us on a call and they're having a meltdown and they're like, I haven't accomplished anything, we have a physical record to show you everything that you have been accomplishing through that accountability and those goals that you have been checking off. So we can pull it up and say, listen here, give
Yeah.
you a little pep talk,
Listen, Linda.
show you,
Listen, Linda.
show you that you really have been accomplishing things and how worthwhile it is. And also just sometimes we're as entrepreneurs are so quick to go to the next thing, to the next goal, and we never appreciate or we always feel behind. So we're never like, oh, I did do that. So I think having people holding you accountable and then also cheering you on to once again reiterate how far you have come, because we always are like next thing, like check mark, right? Everything's just another check mark instead
Yep.
of really like celebrating our little accomplishments that we have, big or small, that we have made. So I personally really, really love the accountability. And I think with that, people getting the planning consistently and then the accountability to stick with that plan is going to be amazing.
Yeah. I
Yes.
agree.
My fellow creatives who are all over the place, I feel you when it comes to
Yes.
sticking with the plan. But it is true. It's so important and so powerful. And the one thing that's going to change everything for you. I just want to highlight something that you said, Chelsea, about acknowledging your wins. Like one of the big things that is so hard to do, I highly recommend that you guys do this every single day, especially when you are in a funk or feeling like something's not going your way or whatever that might be, is acknowledging how far you come. Celebrate a win. Oh my gosh, well, I actually posted on Instagram today. I actually, showed up and landed that wholesale account that I'd been like following up with for so long, or I collected a check from someone who owed me some money. Like there's just so many things that you could, who takes checks anymore, but you know what I mean? I got paid.
We still have checks in Kentucky.
You are a little behind over there.
We don't have QR codes and we have checks. Okay.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. So funny. So acknowledging those wins, like that's a really amazing way to shift you out of the vibration of like, I'm comparing myself to other people and not getting where I want to be, because you have gone far and you're running your own race. You're not running a race against anyone else except for yourself. And that's the most important thing that I've been reminding myself of every single day when I judge myself or feel like I'm not far enough along with this new venture, or when I don't feel like I'm getting the traction that I need. I'm like, look how far you've come. A year ago, you were like sobbing every single day, feeling so conflicted, not knowing what to do, saying that you wanted to make a change, but your actions say doing something else. And look where you are now. You actually did it. And you're almost on the other side. We're not totally on the other side, but almost on the other side. And I feel like now we're so set up to like fly and thrive and continue to grow. And we would love to invite you all, anyone listening, to join this community. It's not just for jewelry designers. It is great for anyone who has a physical product, handmade goods, anything like that. We are opening this up to not just jewelry business owners, even though we have been primarily serving the jewelry industry for a long time. If you sell a physical product of most kinds, I won't say any kind, like we're not here to help you with your widgets or your baked goods. I'm probably not the best coach for that, but actually you guys are the coaches for that, but Chelsea and Dawn, if you're wanting like the baked good thing, you can go find another coach. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know how to weigh flour and butter. And I don't think that the other coaches do either. But if you're making a beautiful handmade good or some other luxury product that requires explanation and creating desire and demand for your brand, then this community is amazing for you. And we're here to help you really maximize your results and get repeat customers, because that's the whole thing. That's our whole thing over here. It's all about the repeat. We're all about helping you grow your first time customers. But if you're not getting those people to turn into repeat customers, well, then you've wasted your time. And that's like our whole mission over here, is to help you build a business by building a great experience, by creating the desired brand effect, and getting people to buy over and over again, because that repeat customer base is how you're going to thrive. If you guys want to check out the Desire Brand Effect Collective, I'm going to have a link in the show notes, or you can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/DBE collective and check it out right there. It's $9.97 for a year. When you pay in full, Chelsea, I'm going to drop this and I hope you don't get mad at me. But when they pay in full, we're creating a new product. Chelsea's creating a new product. Can I say this?
Oh, yes. Okay.
I was like, you know what I'm talking about?
Jesus, take the wheel. What is it? Yes. Now I know what you're talking about.
It's how to maximize your in-person shows. And we know it's summer sales season for a lot of you. So she's creating a little mini piece of curriculum course where we're going to help you maximize your show sales, because a lot of you are leaving a lot of money on the table, and there's a lot that you could be doing to make more money while you're at the show and long after the show is over. So that's going to be your bonus. Chelsea, we can also drop that in the community for anyone who wants to pay in full in the community as well. So we'll be sharing more about that as well. Then I'm sure everyone wants to know where my focus is going to be. So are you guys cool if I share that? Okay, awesome. So one of the things that made me so innovative in the jewelry industry 14 years ago was that I saw a need and I filled that need. And I started the first online coaching one-to-many model, where most of the consultants out there were only doing one-on-one work. And it was quite expensive. Like most of my competitors at the time were selling $5,000 a month coaching packages. One of my key competitors sells, or actually they're not really a competitor, but one of the other people on the market, I'm saying they're not a competitor because I don't think that someone who's going to pay $17,000 a month to consult with you is actually someone who was going to market with me. So I wanted to be able to support people who were at, stages of business where they couldn't invest that kind of money on a monthly basis. And so I disrupted the industry then, and I'm here to disrupt the industry again, because I know that the one thing that gets people hung up on is their marketing. They can show up at a show and sell all day, but they don't know how to make money in between shows. And this is exactly why we created Train Your Customers to Buy From You Online. Or if they are marketing, they're spending so much time on Instagram and they can't get out of the loop, and they're spending way too much time either writing captions or figuring out how to write a hook or how to actually plan out their launches or any of those things. And you didn't sign up to become a jewelry business owner or handmade business owner to become a professional marketer. But marketing is such an important part of your business. AI has been changing the industry. And so the second problem I started seeing is people were starting to use AI to help them write their copy. And it is so freaking obvious, you guys. And guess what? When the algorithm can pick it up, the algorithm does not show your content to other people. So there are these two things side by side happening. The people not marketing, the rise in AI, and those two converging, how it was actually affecting the success of a jewelry business. So I started creating a tool for myself because I was doing all the marketing for my business as we're in this descale mode. I needed a tool that was going to help me write great copy, sound like me, because I couldn't afford to pay $5,000 a month for a copywriter anymore. And in this season, but also plan things out, create, help me ideate on what I was going to do when I'm launching something new, write my emails, all of that. And so I started creating this tool that sounded like me, that was built on best practices for desire marketing, which is the number one thing that I teach, so that you can start doing the thing that the big brands do, right? It is shifting people's identity from where they are now to where they want to be. Instead of just saying hey, this bracelet, is made of sapphires and diamonds, or, get my mood ring that's going to help you with your energy, truly shifting the identity so that you're seeing how your product actually fits into the life of the end user. So I started creating this for myself, not just for jewelry, but for my coaching products. And it was game changing, the results I was getting, the speed at which I could execute my marketing and quality of the marketing content was just really good. So I started playing around, like, what if I could create this for the jewelry designers? Because one of the things that I see, once again, AI written copy by real poorly trained chat GPTs or Claudes or whatever, most of the people doing it, I could literally nail it out. And like many of even my top students who were teaching AI, I was just like, this is really bad. And this is part of the reason why they're getting bad engagement. So it's like, what if I could bridge the two and make it sound awesome, but also be taught on everything that I teach, that I've been teaching for the last 14 years, put that into an AI tool that could actually change the game for you. So that's how DiGesare AI was born. I am so excited about this tool, and actually was really nervous to present it to people because for anyone who was on the initial demo, which will be going away soon, I was nervous because this felt like one of the first things that I did when I launched Flourish and Thrive. I was like, what if no one likes the program I have? That's sort of like how I felt about DiGesare AI. And so when I'm out here trying to show you how it works, and I'm just like so nervous, like, I hope they like it. The initial responses have been amazing. So the thing that is so cool is one of my students, Alex, and she said I could share this, so I feel comfortable sharing it with me. I'm so excited that she decided to join the beta, Alex Camacho of Acid Queen Jewelry, because she's someone who will give me constructive feedback in a way that is going to help improve the tool. So one of the reasons why I wanted to invite a bunch of people into a beta and charge them a significantly lower rate to get in, I'm telling you, the price is going to go up for this soon, is because I want people to give me feedback so that we can improve it and make it better. So if it's doing something weird or it's not getting the kind of output that I want to know so we can fix that. It's been great. The first thing that she said to me was like, oh my gosh, this is so killer. I cannot believe what it is doing for my business. Like, she sent me a text saying that. And then in the community, she's like sharing her constructive feedback and just saying like how it's analyzing her Instagram and giving her like data analysis on like what she can do to improve her strategy. Like, these are things that are really, really valuable and important. And she had already had a really strongly trained GPT and Claude projects that she was using. But the challenge with that is that she was wasting so much time finding the update and the change that she'd made to other things. And then it wasn't built based on jewelry business content. So it was just pulling stuff off the internet from like random bro marketers that don't have the same industry insights. And so that when I got someone like Alex saying how awesome it was, I was like super excited. And then people like Laura, who is one of the most we love you, Laura Stamper. We love you so much. Who's one of the most tech challenged humans ever. My two favorites, Laura and Sally Hoffman. These women are so sweet. They're a little bit like, older, kind of having retirement businesses in a way. And they're like, this is my new BFF. I'm so tech challenged. I didn't think I was going to like it. And I'm like, Laura, trust me, it's going to be good. And Sally's saying, I can't sleep at night. I'm dreaming about all the things I can do with DiGesare AI. It's just the cutest thing ever. And Chelsea and Don are cracking up behind the scenes right now. I want to hear you guys laughing. You can take yourself off mute.
I just love like seeing their feedback on it, because we have been loving, AI for a little while here, Tracy, but people who are getting introduced to it are like just over the moon excited.
Yeah. They're blown away.
So fun. And so it's really designed to meet you where you're at, whether you're an advanced marketer who just wants help with just more data-driven analytical type of work, or you're kind of more in the beginning stages. It's here to support you. It's here to support your marketing assistant. It's here to support your team, like wherever you are on the journey. What I just want is for you guys to get into regular marketing. People are using it to update their website copy, like all the things. So it's a great tool. We still have a couple spots left in the beta. My plan is to close it soon. I actually extended the beta offer because I got distracted with some things that were going on in my life that I had to handle. So lucky for you, if you haven't joined yet, get in. We have a 3-month, 6-month, and annual options. The annual option is significantly less expensive than joining for 2 or 3 months. And that's by design, because I know that once you get in, you're going to love it and you're going to want to re-up every year. And you get grandfathered in at the pricing you join in now. And we're going to be making ongoing updates every single month and adding additional tools. So it's going to be insane. And eventually we're going to have a Tracy bot, coaching bot, which I'm so excited about. We'll probably have a Dawn bot and a Chelsea bot too. I don't know. We're going to figure all this out so that you guys can get support in that. So it's really, really remarkable. And we're going to wrap this up really soon. Once again, we'll have links in the show notes for everything that we talk about here. But if you want to check that out, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/DiGesare AI, and you'll get redirected to the landing page for that. Anything you guys want to add for that? Yes, ma'am.
I'm good.
I have something I want to add that we forgot to talk about.
Okay, let's add it.
Okay. I want to talk about the leaderboard.
Oh, okay. Can we do that at the end?
Okay, that's fine.
We're going to do that. We're going to talk about one other thing. This is real life. Chelsea's got like 75 animals on her farm.
That's not mine. That's Dawn.
I know. And then Dawn's got her little barky dogs. I'm surprised we're not hearing some Shetland cows mooing in the background right now. Or she might have to run out and have like birth a cow later. This is true.
Yes, it's happened before on calls.
I know. The one thing that I do want to address is some stuff that people are talking about with AI. And I know that people doing something new, you've probably heard all these rumors going around the internet about that AI is bad. And I want to address two significant things about AI that I think is a misinformation and misperspective. The first, because people have been commenting on my posts left and right about the water that AI uses. And we've done all the research. And my friend Callan Faulkner, who is an AI expert, addressed this full out on stage at a conference we were both at a couple of weeks ago. And someone said, what about the water? And she's like, fake news. She's like, are you on Instagram? And they're like, yes, I'm a coach. Of course I'm on Instagram. And she's like, scrolling on Instagram for 5 minutes takes more water than spending an hour on an AI tool. And so the reason there's always a hidden agenda. What I would encourage you to do, the thing that's humorous to me is that the only AI that was using all the water were one particular person that is very controversial right now, who's running an AI tool that people were against. But then of course, like the certain AI tools that are all the same, they all use the same kind of data centers, were not bad. And so you always have to look the layer behind the layer of why this information is out there. It's not really the full story. So the other thing about the water is that these data centers that use water for cooling, number one, it's recycled water. It's non-potable. It's not something that we would use for drink or even irrigating our fields. Anything that evaporates goes into the environment and comes back as rain. So this is not a bad thing. It's just how things are done. So that's my understanding of it. So don't shoot the messenger, but that's, do your full research and try to look at multiple sources and not just one way. The other thing is that people are worried about AI is going to take all the jobs. There are certain things that robots are going to take jobs with because it is more efficient and cost effective for companies to, for instance, we're seeing this a lot in fast food restaurants. Like when I go to I don't eat a lot of fast food, but we do love Shake Shack. We're like nightmares when it comes to that. You can order on a little kiosk thing. You see this at the airport. I actually love it because you don't have to wait in a long line anymore to order your food so you don't miss your flight, whatever. So things like that where it makes more sense, or they have a hybrid of like humans and sure, like technology is going to replace some human jobs. In the workplace though, people who do not adopt AI, their jobs will be eliminated. So it is true that if you aren't adopting AI to get up with the times, you might be left behind if you're working a physical job. And I say this with a loving heart because the people who are going to succeed and thrive as leaders are going to adopt AI tools to help them speed up their efficiency and execution, which will make them invaluable, not only to their own company, but to the companies that they work for. And so I'm saying this because that's really the truth. And sure, is it scary when things change? Like people were afraid of the internet. People were afraid of cell phones. Like people were afraid of a lot of these things people remember Y2K, you guys, when the whole world was going to shut down and everything was going to stop. Nothing happened. It's like
afraid of QR codes, just so you know.
Yeah, people were afraid of QR codes and now they're everywhere. So yes, it is a change, but it's not. Let's look at how we can use this for good instead of like all the things that could go wrong, because it is something for a small business owner that will really change the game for you. And that's my truth and I'm sticking to it. So Chelsea, tell us about the leaderboard. We forgot to talk about this, which is my favorite part of our new community.
Yes. Competitive Tracy loves, no, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Competitive Tracy loves a good competition.
Yes. So I want to mention a couple things about the leaderboard in a different way than
explain what it is because
Okay, so the leaderboard itself it's built into our platform that we're using, and it's a way for it to basically track your engagement. So this is you attending the live calls, engaging in the community. So that's supporting others by commenting on their posts, engaging on our posts. We give you regular bite-sized action steps to do throughout the week to once again hold you very accountable for what you should be focusing on that
Yes.
month. Participating in the monthly challenges by consuming the curriculum and like just sharing your progress, things like that. So encouraging and supporting others is a really big part of it. But with all of that, we have a built-in leaderboard. So this is an automated system that will show us who is at the top of that board. And at the end of every month, we will be picking that person to get a one-on-one coaching call with me. So if you are somebody who maybe previously was either terrified of one-on-one coaching, because I know some people have a phobia of that, or if you couldn't afford one-on-one coaching, this is a really great way for you to be able to earn it. And I think the cool thing about it is typically you're going to be consuming and engaging in more content when you need more support. And so by getting an extra one-on-one call with me for that as well, it'll really help you work through any roadblocks or struggles that you're having at the moment in that session. So it's a great way for you to be able to earn something else. We will be rolling out then also content that you can unlock coming soon as well. That means the more you're consuming and engaging and checking things off your list and moving through your business, the more content curriculum inside of our platform that you can unlock for yourself too. So it's really great to help you stay on track and show up for yourself so that you can earn more for yourself.
And one of the things that we are rolling out, we adopted all these little tiny offers in the beginning of 2020, and they went great. And then we decided to retire them all. And I mean, if you bought them, you still have access to them, of course. But the one thing that I wanted to do was to be able to meet people where they're at. So we just started testing, bringing back these tiny offers. We're going to be releasing a how to maximize your show sales offer, which is great for the summer show season. We're trying to keep it non-seasonal, but it is like right now it's going to be great. We'll have a link in the show notes. I don't know exactly what the link's going to be at, but we'll have a link in the show notes where you can grab that. But if you do join the community and pay in full, you'll get that as a bonus, which is very exciting. We just released a pricing calculator, which is going bonkers. We have never seen this many sales in such a short period of time. So if you haven't downloaded our pricing calculator, it's just $37. It's a great tool. I walk you through. It actually ended up being like a mini course. I didn't even realize this, but I was like walking through the different things to think about. I also have a bonus in there on how to increase perceived value for your jewelry, because that's a very important part of pricing, and so much more. So just we're rolling out some really great things. And then on top of that, I know that I started talking about DiGesare AI. I'm also going to be going all in on my coaching with 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs. So I'm launching my next round of the Art of Reinvention, which I'll be talking about on the podcast coming up. The next program will start in September. So if you want to learn more about that and you're in a season of reinventing your business, this program is great for any type of business. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram and I can share more information about that with you. I also am hosting in-person retreats and masterminds, and will be most likely launching a mastermind program at the end of the year. So my desire is to be working at people at a higher level who are putting more stakes in the ground and really helping these brands scale to 6, 7 figures and beyond. So if that's you, I'd love to work with you, and I'd love to connect a little bit more. If you are more in the earlier stage, lower 6 figures, we would love for you to, starting up your business, lower 6 figures, we'd love to invite you to our Desired Brand Effect Collective community, which is going bonkers. And then, of course, everyone's welcome in DiGesare AI, because it will help any level of business, which is amazing. We're excited about it. Any final words, ladies, before we go?
I hope you will come join us over in the community. It's going to be a great time.
I do too.
It's awesome. All right, you guys, thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy.